Welcome to This Week in Crowder College, an in-depth look into how Crowder College students, faculty, and staff are working together so students soar to new heights, communities are impacted, and lives are changed. This Week in Crowder College is sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson in Neosho, specializing in workers' compensation, personal injury, Social Security disability, and more. Learn more online at neoshoattorney.com. Now here's this week's edition of This Week in Crowder College.
And we welcome you into This Week in Crowder College. I'm Ben Wolcott. Today we're joined by the cross-country coach, or actually I should just say the track coach over at Crowder College, Jake Holt. And Jake, I know that cross-country season is coming up. You've had track indoor and outdoor this past year as well. But all the athletes have gone home for the summer. So kind of what do you try to do during the summer to get you ready for that next season?
Well, we do require all of our athletes to be on a mileage monitoring app called Strava. So, I'm just making sure that the kids are doing their homework for the summer. That way, when they get here in August, they're ready for harder workouts. And we jump into competition pretty quickly. So I just want to make sure that they're actually in good physical shape when they arrive on campus.
I'm sure also at this point you're trying to get some more recruits in there as well. So what are you kind of anticipating recruit-wise, what you have for coming in this fall?
Yeah, we had a really good season this year, but unfortunately with a 2-year school, you have a lot of turnover. So we have several kids that have moved on to 4-year schools, and recruiting's been pretty good. Especially on the guys' side, we've signed some really good middle distance runners, some state champions, many all-state guys, and we also have a connection with our Kenyan athletes. We're waiting on some of them to hopefully get their visas at the embassy, but right now the embassies for the United States aren't very good right now, just with the global climate that we're in.
And you mentioned that you guys had a very successful year this past year. Can you just kind of tell us kind of what happened this past year?
Yeah, the ladies team, we compete in the NJCAA Division I, which is the top level of junior college. But our ladies were 5th in the nation, and the guys were 6th. We had 3 women that were All-American, and we had 3 men that were All-American. And we made huge strides from the previous year where we were 18th and 19th in the nation. In indoor track, our 4x100 meter relay on the girls and guys' side was All-American. Our men's distance medley relay was All-American, and then we had a girl that was All-American in the 3,000 meter. And then outdoor, our men's 4x100 was also All-American, and we had a 10,000 meter runner make All-American. So the guys so far, the 3 different seasons of track that we've had a 4x100 team make All-American all 3 seasons. So we want to try to keep that streak alive going into 2026.
That is definitely exciting, especially like you said, with the kind of high turnover that you have. But when you're recruiting kids to come run track for you, run cross country for you, I'm guessing you're trying to recruit them to run cross country and then indoor and outdoor track as well?
Yeah, we're primarily a distance program, in middle distance. We don't really have any sprinters or field events, so we just focused on basically the 800 meter and up. We do have some kids that can run the 400 a little bit. That helps us with some of our relays that we have. But yeah, we want kids primarily that can run cross country and track and field. We're good enough in cross country that not everyone has to be the most amazing cross country runner to be on the team. So if they have some middle distance ability, that will help us as well.
It's definitely exciting. And then as you get ready for the fall, what do you kind of anticipate? I know you mentioned just everybody coming in and how high the turnover is, but I'm sure you're expecting just as much success this coming year as you did last year.
Yeah, our recruiting's been really good. The majority of our girls' team is back for this fall, and those girls made huge improvements in their freshman year. So the expectations, really high. We would like to get into the top 3, and on the men's and women's side, that's where the trophies at the national meet occur in cross country. With these the high quality American kids that we have, we're really excited to see what they can do and how far they can go with their improvement. We're still waiting on, again, we have some Kenyan athletes that are waiting on their visas. And if they don't get their visas, that could affect things a little bit. but we're still highly optimistic that we'll have a very good season.
And I'm sure that you, even when you're in season, you're kind of looking at some of the high school kids as well, and recruiting almost never stops regardless of what season you're in.
Yeah, you definitely hit the nail on the head. Recruiting never stops. I mean, even right now this morning, I've been recruiting. It never ends. My phone is constantly going off with people that want to come to Crowder, both, domestically and, in foreign countries.
Well, I think that's probably a good problem to have for you, is wanting people to come to Crowder. And I know you're kind of in the early stages of this program because you're really the one that has built it, but it seems like you're getting it where you want to be, and hopefully here in the next couple of years you can continue to build it and kind of like baseball and softball, make sure this thing is a national program.
Yeah, that's our hope. I'm very thankful that Crowder, gave me the opportunity to start the program, and they've really supported it every step of the way. But yeah, we have the desire to make it, a nationally recognized program, and honestly, we already are one of the elite, distance programs in the nation. There's just a few programs that have been established for quite a bit longer than we have. Decades literally, and we're competing right alongside those programs already. So we do look for, our goal is a national title here in the next few years, and hopefully if things keep progressing the way they are, we'll see that come to fruition.
And I guess my one final question for you here is, I know you're both the girls and the guys coach. At some point, are you hoping, I'm sure you have assistants as well, but are you hoping to maybe be the coach of only one of the teams and get another coach in there as well?
I think with cross country and track, I really feel like having one coach over the entire program is probably the best way to go. Especially when you're sharing rides and things like that. That way one person's making the decision on what events you're going to go to, and different things like that. We do have an assistant coach. She is a female, so I do love that. It gives the girls just another avenue of communication, and, she can communicate them in ways that maybe I can't, as a male. But yeah, we're very pleased to have Candace Reynolds. She's our assistant. She ran for me for 2 years and decided to come back and be part of what we're trying to build here. Well,
it's definitely an exciting time over there at Crowder College. Jake, we thank you for taking a couple minutes here today on This Week in Crowder College.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for listening to This Week in Crowder College. This Week in Crowder College is sponsored by the law offices of Wood and Peterson in Neosho. You can listen to this broadcast again by going online to kneo.org or to crowder.edu. Tune in once again next week for another edition of This Week in Crowder College on KNEO 91.7 FM.